hello and welcome back to Vintage Farming. This is in fact the finale episode for this iteration of Vintage Farming, but as I've said before, this is not the end of Vintage in any case. I promised there would be heaps of Vintage. I'm being pushed by a goat here. Speaking of goats, we are here with the goats and the baby goats. We have some more babies as well. They are very cute, flopping about. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, he's just showing off for the camera, isn't he? And he's jogging off now. Right, so yeah, happy to see that with the goats in view. I mean, it's always a pleasant... Okay, being pushed again. With the train and the goats, and it's all very nice. So yes, as I've said before, I will miss this map. I do quite like it, but it's just time for a change, basically. So we are going to be making some moves to some new series soon. As I've said as well, we will have Vintage Survival coming in the future. There is a map in question I am waiting for the release of, so it's not going to be immediately after this series. However, I do have another series planned, kind of, sort of an idea that came to me, but then an even better idea on top of that idea came to me, so I thought I would try that out and yeah, give it a go for something a little bit different. But being the finale episode for Vintage Farming, we do have some things to do. So the goats have been producing milk quite a bit, actually, especially once they've given birth. So as you can see, they are almost ready to reproduce again. And they are producing loads of milk. We've had to clear some stuff out the way so that we're able to make room for more. As you can see as well, the meadow grass is being eaten up much quicker, so we would eventually get to the point where we'd need to feed them something else. But yeah, that just made it very simple for us to not have to do that. So in the future we will make certain that we do have to feed the animals that we have on the farm. Right, for things that we need to sort out, so goat milk needs to be sold. I think this has rectified itself, oddly enough, because it is showing 7,000, but I'm pretty certain we have 7 pallets. So, I don't know, a bit funny. The honey as well has been producing, so we can sell that also. So we'll get those sold when the time comes, soon enough, I guess. This price is going up, this price is, I guess, always going down. But we'll just sell it whenever, because it doesn't matter all that much. Now, we do have this canola field here all ready to be harvested. Actually, it's 2 months ready now, but luckily we can get it done in this month, and we will. The other field is over here, so we will get this sorted as well first. Might as well, yeah, I reckon since we're here anyways, might as well do this one first. It is the bigger of the two, so we do have our combine ready to go, but we do have... Right, this is still at the shop. So what I'm going to do, first thing, is, being that it is a flatbed, we can use that for the pallets. So I'll bring that to the farm, but then we'll ensure that we get the trailers dropped off at the field as well, so that we can get that sorted also. Because yeah, these will probably be going to the... well, I don't know if it's going to the mill or not. So anyways, we will just take them back over to the field in preparation for the canola harvest, and then we'll get that harvest underway. Alright, here we are at the field, and I might as well just pop this to the side here for now, so that we can use it when we need it. I did bring both trailers just in case. Canola usually does fill up quite slowly, so we may not need to use both trailers, but at least we have them if we need them. Now, oh, let's not destroy the crop immediately, please. Right, we will get that like that. And we can drive straight into the header. It is a bit of a shame that the day is not, you know, happy, sunny and all that. It's quite cloudy, but that is okay. At least it's not raining, because that would make it very difficult to to get the harvest done, I have to admit. Right, I'm going to go this way, so let's just go back, reverse up towards the trailers here. Yeah, I know this is a slightly different way than I normally would. Right, we are all unfolded and ready, so we will just start. Get it started straight away. There we are. So we're getting our first proper harvest done on this field. Because we did have the grass in and we made a few silage bales, but we didn't actually, I mean, I guess technically we had the oilseed radish, but that doesn't really count quite the same as a proper harvest. Not at all, because it's not. We don't have to worry too much about the chopping of the straw here because, well, it's not our field after this, is it? Normally I'd go around and sell everything as well, so like the fields and the kit and everything, but I think I'm going to keep everything intact just as is, because there's really no need for it. Yes, I will sell all of the goods and probably the goats, so they're not just indefinitely sort of sat there. But the kit and the fields and all that, I'm going to leave absolutely fine as is. But yeah, with the goats and the milk and the honey and the canola, we'll get it all sold. We'll get all that sold up. Now, this is actually quite a good yield considering it is canola, because as I've said, it usually yields quite slowly, just as the crop itself. Oilseed rape does tend to yield quite low amounts. It pays well, pays very well for what you get, but it just doesn't yield as high as wheat or oat or any other grain, really. Right, yeah, this field really won't take all that long. It's not a massive field by any means. So what we might actually do is, depending on how quickly this fills up to empty into the trailers, we might get this field and the other field done kind of in one sort of time lapse, to be honest. But it depends, because we got to put the header on the trailer, and so it might be a bit of a cheeky jump cut between here and the other field in the time lapse, but I reckon that's probably what we will end up doing. So without further ado, let's crack on with our final harvest of the series. Alright, well, you know, I was gonna do them, together, this and the other field, but I decided I will do them separately because I seem to underestimate this field. Or overestimate, I guess. Underestimate is probably the better term to use. I didn't estimate it properly. Basically, I thought it would be a lot quicker than it was, but I thought it might be best to, keep it keep them separate as well. Oh, look at that, I've also underestimated how much canola we were going to get. I thought we might not even fill up one trailer, but look at that. So between this field and the other, I reckon we'll get a nice haul all together. Now, if we were to sell the canola off the field, essentially, so not even loaded into a silo or anything, just straight off the trailer, what would that look like for us? Oh, that's not right. Is it going to rectify itself? Are you just having a dance? Oh my word. Let's try this again, shall we? There we go. Perfect. Right. Let's get that sorted. So, if we were to get the canola sold off the field, we would be looking at not the best price in the world, but it is going up everywhere. So what we'll do is when we do finish the other field, we will take the lot of it over to, well, we'll take it all over to the possibly to the grain silo and just sell it on the train. That usually delivers the best price, but again, if there is a better price, we'll sell it there instead. Right, so there's really only a couple of things to do. We do have to harvest the other field, which is what we're going to do now, so we're on our way there to do that. Obviously sell the canola, as I've just said, and then the goat milk and the honey are the only two things that remain. So we do have the lorry ready to go to load up those pallets and deliver them wherever they need to go. Then we'll have a quick little farewell with the goats before we sell them off, and then a farewell to Vintage. So it's a bit sad. I love Vintage, I really do, and it's not, again, it's not the end of it forever, because it's my favourite series, so ending this one doesn't mean the Vintage is over forever, and I do reiterate that simply because it's true, right? I don't want people to think that I'm ending this series just because to end it, but you just, when you get to a point with it, I suppose it's just maybe the combination of the way things are going and the map, and as I've said, I wanted to relocate to a new map anyways, so I just feel like everything's compounded to leading to a new series, which is grand. Really nice that that's the option as well. Anyways, we're nearly here at the field, but we do have to get the trailer and bring it over here as well, so we'll do that and then we'll crack on with this field. Alright, here we are back at the farm. As you can see, the harvester is ready to go, so I'm just going to get the New Holland and the trailers sort of lined up over here. Now, again, I don't know how much of that... Yeah, I'm not too certain how quickly that will fill, especially being a much smaller field than the other one, but nevertheless we will find out straight away. There we are, fired up, and canola is being harvested as well. Here we go. Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool. Well, I don't think there's any way that we could get another 7,000 litres out of this field. We barely got 8 from the other one, so maybe a couple of thousand most, but yeah, I can't see it being a massive harvest, unfortunately, but that's fine, because we knew that going in. Yeah, but that's alright. Right, we'll just get to the end here and crack on down the other way. Don't always have to just get it all in one. And this harvest is up. What did we... I'm trying to think of what we even had here before. So we had... Well, grass was the first thing, and we got like 2 or 3 hay bales. Or did we get 4 out of it? I remember it being such a minute amount because it wasn't very fertilized, wasn't taken care of really. But I could be wrong. Now I can barely remember. But I know that we did peas, so that was kind of a neat, different thing to do, especially with the Vintage harvester. That's something we could potentially use in the future on Vintage Survival. That all depends on if we get to that point, or even want to bother getting to that point with that kind of harvester. But it all depends. I can't. All I know is that I have a map in mind and an idea, and I don't really have much more than that laid out just yet. But time will tell. So no rush for that. There we go. We've got a headland done. Took about 2 seconds, and I reckon the rest of this will actually be quite swift as well. enough time to probably don't need to do it in a time lapse. But what I can do is sort of mention this next series. So without giving too much away, what I will say is that I have been looking at American maps. So that is kind of all I want to say. So I have done in the past American farming, which is basically, the first series I did, I tried to set it up. I actually set everything up myself because I wanted to have American style farming but small, because I find that American farming in general and North American farming is just absolutely massive. Like, everything is massive about it. At least on this map, European style, you get some small fields. You look at Colmson, where you get some massive fields, or Oak Bridge, or whatever it's called now. You get some really big ones, right? Even on Cool Farm, there's some tiny fields. We made our own fields, and then there was some really big ones also. So you do get a good mix with it, but I find that American farming, American fields in general, are just consistently absolutely massive. So that being said, that's why I created the farm that I did on the other series. But then that map, I can't quite remember what happened, but basically the game file just kind of corrupted itself, and it was a bit frustrating. So I was actually quite enjoying that series a lot, actually. And then I ended up switching over to another map in kind of a different American farming style, focusing more on that bigger sort of kit. But I tried to keep the kit on the older side, but couldn't always make it work that way, to have it always be an older or vintage kit. However, I'll say no more. I'll say no more about the new series. All I can say is that it will be, episode 1 will be out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And then again, it's somewhat of an interim series. Not that I'm going to end it when Vintage Survival starts. We could run both. But we'll get a feel for it as we go. I just always want to have at least one series on the go. One farming simulator series on the go, I should say, as well. So, yeah. And there we go. Sorted. Canola is done. Canola is harvested. So what we'll do is we will just get the pipe out and load it into the trailer. Now, oh, nope, not like that. Right, there we go. Happy days. So yeah, we got more than I thought. So probably about 4,000 litres out of this trailer, 8 out of the first one. So hello. Should be alright. Okay, cool. So now let's have a look at where we can sell it, if we're to sell it straight off the field. So yeah, Kesselnor is still looking like the ticket. Where are we going to bring these other things? See, honey to Kesselnor is not happening because we can't get it onto the train. There's no actual way to load pallets properly onto there. Bugger, but it's way better. That's fine. We'll still bring it to Coach Express. Hopefully. What else have we got? Right. Ghost milk to the dairy, so that's a slightly different place. Yes, we could wait until the time is better, I suppose, if we really wanted to. But it doesn't make sense. If, as I said before, if we were going to, move to a new map, or if we were, taking this money with us, then I would consider that. But considering the fact that we're not, so be it. We won't worry about it. Right, what was I saying? Canola what? To Casino? Go on then. Go on. It is one more time at the train. And someone did make a comment. I believe it was main man Wolverine had made a comment about how I should never time lapse the train because of how beautiful the landscape is. And that comment was posted after I recorded the previous episode, meaning that I did 2 train time lapses in that episode. But again, it was before that comment. This time, no time lapse. We'll just let the train look beautiful, and we'll show the scenery as much as we can, probably with as much of the sun on the train as possible to get the best sort of most beautiful effect of the map we can, because it really is an absolutely gorgeous map. So I like to take advantage of that as we can. Maybe we'll do as wide of a view as we can as well. Anyways, we are nearing the end of all things, so first things first, let's just get over to the bloody hill. Takes so long to get up to. By the time we get here, the train will have passed again. Right, so we do need to load the milk onto the flatbed. So we'll just load it all onto the flatbed, because the dairy won't take honey, certainly not. So if we go to the dairy with the milk, sell it there, the honey should remain on the lorry. I was going to say trailer, but should remain. Right, nearly there. Come along now, come along. Right, get the canola in there, and the canola in there as well. Brilliant. Now we'll go to where the train is to be rented. We'll rent it. And I'm going to kind of just leave Kit wherever, because just in the hopes that, who knows, maybe we'll pop onto this another time. I don't want to give any sort of false hope for that, though, to be honest. But yeah, no, I'll just leave the New Holland. That's my excuse to leave the New Holland where it is, I suppose. Right, let's get this somewhat sorted now. Yeah, I could probably do these two in one. Because yeah, we are at the very end here. Just need to get a few things sold, the goats included, and then we're done. Oh, hello. There we go. I do kind of feel as though if there was a map ready, like a decent enough map to do a vintage farming series on, there's a high chance I would have just... Oh, hello. I would have just moved to that new map. But given the fact that that's not the case, that's why Vintage Survival is born. So in a way, it is bittersweet. Okay, what? Just why? What is going on? You've got to be joking. What a mess. Oh no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Right, you know what? It does not matter at all, because it's going to literally sell in moments anyways. So we can just stack it all on there as nice as possible. Or, I mean, just stack it on as possible. Just stack it on. Doesn't have to be nice at all. We saw what happened when we neatly stacked the lettuce, what that did to us. Absolutely nothing. Right, now we will see that the train... Oh, it's reversing, so it's nearly there, but not quite. That gives us an opportunity to get some more milk loaded. Oh, see? That's how it should have been done. Very, very nice. No, I'm only joking. It was definitely a user error on my end for that first load of milk, but that's fine. It's not the prettiest delivery of milk, but it will work. Very effective. Now, before we load the very last bit of milk, I will sell the goats as well. I know that's a sad part. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to sell them, because then we can have a proper vintage farewell with the goats in view, as I've done with the last couple of episodes. But it's just pleasant. It's just very pleasant. Right, I know we are renting the train at the moment. It's probably sat there waiting, but I am just going to keep my milk loading momentum here and get the final 2 pallets loaded on. Just can't forget about the honey, which I think will only have like 4 pallets maybe. Oh, 2.5 pallets. There you go. Oh, bugger. That's right. It's all right. Let's get those strapped in. Strapped, 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 and strapped. Wonderful. Right, train is there. Let's get that first cart open as you do. And we'll get the canola loaded in. Brilliant. Yeah, I think we'll have a really nice view from afar of the train. So we'll probably end up seeing that way, but it just gives the train its natural view. This way it's a bit darker on this side because the sun is over there. But let's get that closed and we'll get the train on its way. Seems to be struggling a bit. What's going on there? Oh, it's absolutely ruined the experience. What the bloody hell is that about? Is it better from inside? Oh, it is. Thank goodness. There we go. That's much better. Oh my goodness. At least we can see the absolutely beautiful view. The little village there we have. The old farm that we were at before. Got the lovely... yeah, the lovely centre of the village there with the church and the clock tower and all. Just a stunning map. There's the old factory as well that we had. Produced many things in that factory. That was a lot of fun to own that as well. Thanks to hemp. That's a long story, but if you saw the last vintage before vintage on this map, then you'll understand what I'm on about. Oh yes, and there we go. Lovely final train ride to enjoy Peligny and a farewell to vintage farming. And we earned a bit of money from that as well, which is very nice. I don't know why it was being so finicky though, it's like jerking around. Well, anyways, it is done. That is done. Right, to the honey loading machine, which is this. Right, I guess honey just in general produces much slower than in FS22. Is there any truth to that? Because as I've said before, it seemed as though the honey production, I wonder if it's per map. No, it can't be. It has to be per production. But it's funny because I remember using modded hives on... It was on this map actually, on FS22, on the last vintage we did on this series, or on this map. But yeah, I used modded hives and they went very slow. But now I'm using base game hives in 25 and it seems to produce equally slowly. So, but someone was saying, oh, it's because it's this or that, it's modded or something. But these are not modded and yet slow as. Mystery. I suppose it's just a bloody mystery. Right, I think we'll get the Massey here as well, nicely positioned. There we go, the goats can enjoy it, as can we. Right, let's take this really funny load of things to their respective places. So the dairy is just there, and then we will be taking, where are we taking it again? Coach Express. View all stations. Yeah, it's not the best price, but that is fine. So, yeah, there we go. Well, no, we'll do a third-person view. Oh, it looks a bit rough in third person with all the load, but it's fine. We'll do it in a cheeky time lapse. And the honey is sold as well. Oh wow, a mighty £2,000 or euro. I don't know if that's worth a bit more. Anyways, we'll just park this here for now because as I said, I'm going to leave kit scattered everywhere. but we will we'll have a look. All right, 13 litre, of course, and of course. But that's fine, very little. We do have a bit of seed left, bit of honey, bit of herbicide, but nothing really all that bad. Yeah, it is a shame. It would have been fun to kind of keep the goats going. It would have been even better if we could have fed them sort of in a more proper way. But that, again, it's neither here nor there now, because we are at the end. Look at the goats. Oh, they're somewhat celebrating, eh? You know, I think, I think this will be a perfect little view. We've got the goats jumping around. We've got the massey. We've got the moodiness of the clouds as well. And yeah, it's been a great series. I mean, Vintage is, as I've said before, it is my favorite series to record. And look, we've got a lucky time as well at 11:11. So how precious is that? I mean, we can even drop it down to 1 time, and we've got 5 ones. Happy days for it. Look at all the goats. They've come to say farewell as well. All right. Well, as I've said before, this is not the end of Vintage forever. This is the end of Vintage farming on this map, this particular series. But we will have a Vintage survival series to come in the future. I am keeping a very watchful eye on all of the maps available, but there is one in particular that is announced, but no date set, which is absolutely fine. That just gives me even more time. It gives me more time to prepare sort of how I want to start the series, and also for you to drop suggestions on what you think, because you know there's many ways to start a survival series, but again, it's Vintage and survival together, not exclusively a survival series with just Vintage kit. So that's something else to remember. 2, it gives more mods a chance to come out. So that's always a pleasant thing to see, is more vintagey mods that really help to push the Vintage atmosphere through. So that's very exciting. And finally, it gives me an opportunity to fire up a different series. So, I say different in the sense of different for the channel. You know, I do a lot of Euro maps. So this is an opportunity to try something a bit different while keeping on theme, I suppose, with the the Vintage kit. I'll say no more. I've basically given it away, but that's absolutely fine. I do look forward to that video posting tomorrow. That'll be Saturday, so hopefully you'll enjoy that on your Saturday afternoon or morning or whatever time it is for you when you watch it. So yeah, any and all feedback on Vintage survival, on Vintage farming for the future, anything like that, please do let me know. Feel free to join the Discord as well. We do have a little community of Grumblers over there, which is quite nice. I quite enjoy that. You know, a little bit of a chin wag and screenshots you post, mods and all that, this and that. So feel free to join. But that does it for the end of Vintage farming. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, cheeky thumbs up really does help out the channel. If you're new, please subscribe. If you like the video, share it amongst your friends. See if they like Vintage as well. That always helps out, and I do appreciate all the support that you've shown through all of this, well, not just this series, but the whole life of Grumbles Gaming, to be honest. So a big thank you for that. Right, enough rambling from me for now. Until the next one, please do take care, and bye for now.